And these are 4 things that I've learned, and I'm literally starting over. You can literally see I have like 4 items to hang up. Everything else is like this. Because I had to throw away a lot. Throw away, give away, donate, sell majority of my things in order to move states. In order to start over. And these are 3 things that I did to escape the toxic relationship. And I think for me, number 1 was probably the easiest one and the hardest one at the same time, because I just kept I just kept going back and forth with myself. I kept going back and forth. So that leads me to number 1 is make a decision. Make a decision. And make a decision was really hard for me, because it just seemed, because our lives are so wound up together as far as things was in my name and everything was financially my responsibility, because everything, I didn't know how to get out of that deep, dark cloud of depression. I didn't know how to even start tackling this mountain of escaping or leaving the dynamic. But what I did learn is that when you are with a person who is and I'm gonna say the word narcissistic, but that's just because there are definitely narcissistic tendencies. But he was also a manipulator, a master manipulator at that. And he would make me feel like everything was my fault. So because I already had such a negative window I was looking through myself at, it was really able to manipulate me. But I had to think of what was more important, him or my peace. And when it came down to it, I had to choose my peace, because I had 2 new babies. I had a 1-year-old and a newborn, and I didn't want this to be their normal. I didn't want the yelling, the cops coming, the fighting, all that stuff. I didn't want that to be their normal. So I had to make a decision that my kids were more important than this. My peace took a priority to whatever it is that he was threatening me with. And honestly, when I finally made the decision, I felt like it's when things really started coming together for me. When things started, the dark clouds started to lift when I finally just made a decision. And when I made a decision to, hey, I'm leaving, I'm not doing this anymore, I'm getting off of this roller coaster. No matter what it looks like, I just can't stay here anymore. I have to go. That's when I say literally things that seemed like the door was closed before, all those things were opening. So I think that's why number 1 is so important, is to just make a decision. Make a decision. And that leads me to number 2. Once you make a decision, it's really important to move in silence. Don't say nothing. Don't try to convince them by, hey, I'm going to leave if you don't act right. I'm going to leave if you won't treat me better. Just move in silence. Don't announce it. Don't make any threats. Just keep going. Just keep going as before, but make the plans that you need to move in silence. If you have to start putting money aside, if you have to start unweaving the life you have together, the things that's in your name or his name or whatever unweaving your life looks like, or starting over, if you have to look for a new job, then start doing that. If you have to move states for safety or things like that, depending on what type of person you're dealing with, just do it in silence. There's no need to announce it. There's no need to tell that person, because if you're being honest with yourself, like I try to be with myself, if they genuinely cared about you, I don't know why I couldn't get that out. If they genuinely cared about you, then you wouldn't have got to this point. There would be no reason for you to even be considering this if they genuinely cared about you. If you felt in your heart, Oh, and don't make excuses. Stop making excuses. Oh, they had a bad childhood, or they had a hard day at work, or they're nice, but no. It's just, the Bible says like this: you can tell a person by the fruit that they bear. I'm gonna translate that for cultures so for this culture, you need receipts. If they are showing you receipts of them not caring, then it's safe to assume that they do not care. And when I say they do not care, you have to look at the thing. If you're saying, hey, this thing bothers me, and they're still doing it, it's safe to assume that either A, they don't care, or B, they're going to have that narcissistic tendency where my feeling of what I'm getting out of this is more important than how you feel. And you have to stop making excuses for yourself to be able to not see it. Take the blinders off and ask yourself, if this was the other way around, would that person like it? And 10 times out of 10, it's a negative. No. But so move in silence and stop trying to convince that person to treat you better. Just start making plans to move or leave, or any plan that you would need to be able to exit, to move yourself from this dynamic. And number 3 is shut up. You shut up. I honestly, when I stopped talking, all the things that I thought I couldn't do is how I'm going to walk away, how I'm going to do this, how I'm going to do that. When I stopped talking, he literally left by himself. Like, I didn't have to figure out anything because he left. And you have to understand how manipulators know that they manipulate you is because your reaction, whether it be good or bad. As long as you're reacting, they know that they can control you. But the second you be quiet, they don't have that hold over you. So when you learn to be quiet, when you learn how to be quiet, stop trying to convince them, stop trying to plead your case, stop trying to defend yourself. Just be quiet. There's no need to defend yourself. There's no need to explain to them why, because they know. They know. Like, if I was to go outside and run somebody over in my car, if that person was to start yelling at me, I would know why they were yelling at me. They know why. They know what they're doing. Don't act like, and the person who needs to hear it, they know. They know they're treating you poorly. They know it. It's not like they said, maybe. No, they know. I'm going to say it one more time. They know. You don't have to explain yourself. Stop trying to explain yourself. Stop trying to defend yourself. Stop trying to convince them. Stop wasting all the energy that you're doing trying to talk, explain, negotiate, plead, make sense of the matter. You trying to make sense of it. Stop. Just stop. Because the second I stopped, literally when I stopped, he left himself. He left. I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to do any of the hard work that I planned to do. I didn't have to do any of it. I had to move states, yes, but I didn't have to do anything else because once I stopped talking, he left. In my particular situation, like I said, I was dealing with a master manipulator, and I know he wanted me to leave. Like, I know for a fact. I know he treated me poorly because he wanted me to leave. Because he wanted to go back to, being out all night, doing all the partying, being with, all the ladies, doing whatever he wanted to do. He couldn't do that with 2 kids depending on him. And I specifically told him, hey, if you don't treat me better, I'm going to have to leave. And he treated me even worse. Obviously, he did not care. Obviously, he hasn't even seen the kids since I had to go, and that tells me everything I needed to know. So for me to sit there and try to convince this person, so this is just leading up to my disclaimer. They will throw your name under the dirt, because I know for a fact he's throwing my name under dirt. Throwing my name in the dirt? Is it putting dirt? Putting dirt on my name. But I don't care. Because what's more important, my peace or the opinion of people I don't even like? I chose peace. So even if they do throw dirt on your name, I wouldn't look back. And I advise you to do the same thing. So, number 1, make a decision. Number 2, move in silence. And number 3, shut up. Stop talking. And start your life over. Start the healing process. However long that may look, start healing, because like I said, if you heal from these particulars, if you learn how to heal from these, you won't keep repeating it. That's why healing is so important. And I'm going to probably say it in all my videos. Healing is so important because when you're healed, you can see these dynamics from a mile away. You don't have to keep going through this over and over and over again, because you heal. You heal from the inside out, to where you can move forward from these situations and not have to worry about repeating them over and over and over again. So I hope and pray that somebody got something out of this, and you can send it. If it did resonate with you, send it to somebody who you think would help. And leave a comment. Leave a comment on how you left. Leave a comment what you had to do. Start this as an open forum that maybe your comment can help the next person to subscribe. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye.